All right, so get this. For this deep dive, we're going to switch things up.
Oh,
Yeah. Instead of diving into a stack of research papers or news articles, we're cracking open a mystery novel.
interesting.
We're going to be exploring the opening chapters of She Crosses Lines, the 14th book in the Artemis Blythe series.
Oh, a deep dive into fiction. I like it.
I know, right?
And so instead of giving you a typical book review or summary or anything like that, we're going to be dissecting the elements that make a mystery novel so gripping. We want to get you hooked, make you curious enough to want to check out the book yourself.
Exactly. Think of this deep dive as us dangling a delicious piece of cake in front of you, just enough to give you a taste and leave you wanting more. And I got to tell you, I'm already hooked. This book, it throws you right into the action. It opens on a remote tropical island where we meet Marty, a hitman who seems poised to take out the governor, Matias.
Classic setup, right?
Yeah, totally.
You've got the exotic location, the seemingly vulnerable target, and this hitman who initially comes across as your typical bad guy.
Yeah, you think you know what's coming next.
But then the author throws in a twist that completely upends your expectations.
Right. The governor is already dead before Marty even gets to him. It completely threw me for a loop. And suddenly you're left with all these questions swirling in your head. Who else is involved? What's the real motive? And is Marty really as bad as he seems?
Exactly. It's a brilliant way to hook the reader. Georgia Wagner lulls you into this sense of familiarity, then yanks the rug out from under you.
Yeah, you think you know what's happening, and then boom.
And that's where the unreliable narrator element comes into play.
Okay, tell me more about this unreliable narrator thing, because I'm fascinated by how the author uses it.
Well, initially, Marty is presented as this classic villain, all swagger and bravado. But then cracks start to appear in that facade as he interacts with his brother Cameron, who, by the way, is an FBI agent. And Artemis, the series protagonist. You start to question whether you can fully trust Marty's perspective.
Which makes you wonder, who can you trust in this story? Especially with the way the author shifts perspectives. We see the events unfold through Marty's eyes, then through Cameron's, and finally through Artemis's.
Right. You're constantly, being challenged as a reader, trying to piece together the truth from these different viewpoints.
Yeah, you're never quite sure who has the full story or what their motivations truly are.
Exactly.
And speaking of Artemis, let's talk about her. She's not your average detective, nicknamed Checkers. She's a chess master with this incredible ability to see patterns and strategize, which makes her an exceptional detective.
Yeah, it's like the author is using those mismatched eyes of hers, one blue, one hazel gold, to signal that there's more to her than meets the eye. She has this calm and observant exterior, but she's also incredibly sharp and capable of taking swift action.
And you can see those chess skills playing out in her approach to the case. She's not just reacting to what's happening, She's thinking several steps ahead, always analyzing the situation and anticipating her opponent's next move.
Right, and because of that, you find yourself as a reader, as captivated by her as you are by the mystery itself. You want to see how her mind works, how she'll unravel the truth.
And then there's so many layers to this mystery.
Oh, yeah.
The complex relationship between the Forrester brothers, the mysterious death of Cameron's wife,
Right.
the chilling truth about the governor. Each piece of information you uncover just leads to more questions.
It's like peeling an onion, and each layer adds another dimension to the story, making you question everything you thought you knew. You get these hints about a larger conspiracy at play, something that goes beyond a simple assassination, and you just know there are dark secrets hidden beneath the surface of this idyllic island.
Okay, so we've talked about the unreliable narrator, the shifting perspectives, and the captivating protagonist. But what about the setting?
Right.
I feel like the island itself plays a big role in the story.
Absolutely. The island, with its lush beauty and exotic charm, provides a stark contrast to the darkness of the crimes that unfold there. It's almost like a metaphor for the characters themselves, These seemingly idyllic facades hiding something far more sinister beneath the surface.
And that juxtaposition creates this incredible tension, right? You have this idyllic paradise that becomes the backdrop for corruption, betrayal, and violence. It's unsettling in the best way possible.
Yes, and it really adds to the sense of unease and mystery. You never quite know what's lurking around the corner, who you can trust.
So to sum it up, what we have here is a story that hooks you from the first page with its unexpected twists, unreliable narrator, and captivating protagonist. It's a mystery that keeps you guessing, leaving you wanting to unravel the truth right alongside Artemis.
And we haven't even scratched the surface of all the intriguing elements in these opening chapters.
Yeah.
There's so much more to uncover.
But we want to make sure we leave you with enough intrigue to want to explore the book for yourself.
Exactly. We've given you a taste. Now it's your turn to take a bite.
So before we move on to the next part of our deep dive, I'm curious, what stands out to you so far? What's got you hooked?
For me, it's the moral ambiguity of the characters. You have Marty, this hitman who might actually have a conscience. Then there's Cameron, the ex-cage fighter grappling with his past, and of course Artemis, who isn't afraid to bend the rules to get to the truth. Their motivations are so complex, their loyalties blurred. It makes you question who's really good and who's really bad.
Yeah, and how those blurred lines play out in a setting as alluring and potentially dangerous as this island.
Yeah.
It's a recipe for a truly captivating story. So, are you ready to dive into the next part of this mystery?
Remember where we left off. Artemis and Cameron are stuck on this island. The governor's dead, and Marty, Cameron's brother, is acting incredibly suspicious.
It's such a pressure cooker of a situation.
Yeah.
They're essentially trapped with a potential suspect, not to mention, they're in a foreign country surrounded by people they can't fully trust.
Yeah.
And let's not forget, all flights are grounded until morning.
Exactly. It's a ticking clock scenario, and that tension just keeps escalating when a fight breaks out on the docks between Cameron and Marty. You can practically hear the sirens blaring as the police arrive.
Yeah, this is where the author's skill at pacing really shines. It's like a scene ripped straight from an action thriller, full of adrenaline and uncertainty. You're on the edge of your seat, wondering what Artemis is going to do next.
Because let's face it, she's in a tight spot. Stay and risk getting arrested along with Cameron, or run and try to figure things out on her own. What would you have done in that situation?
Honestly, I probably would have panicked, but not Artemis.
Mm-hmm.
Even under immense pressure, she keeps her cool and thinks strategically. Remember, her nickname is Checkers for a reason.
Right. It's a testament to her character, her ability to stay focused even when chaos is erupting around her, and her resourcefulness is impressive. She not only manages to escape the police, but she steals a nurse's uniform to sneak into the hospital.
Bold, definitely. But it speaks to her willingness to push boundaries, to do whatever it takes to get to the truth. And let's be real, who doesn't love a protagonist who can think on their feet and isn't afraid to take risks.
It's what makes her such a compelling character. You can't help but root for her, even when she's operating in those morally gray areas.
Right, because let's not forget, there's a moral dilemma at the heart of all this. She wants to clear Cameron's name, but she also knows Marty is dangerous. And the deeper she digs, the more those lines between right and wrong start to blur.
And that's where the author excels at building suspense. She constantly keeps you guessing, questioning everything you think you know about these characters and their motivations. Just when you think you figured things out, she throws in another twist that completely changes the game.
Like that scene where Artemis discovers something shocking in the governor's bedroom. Remember, they're reviewing the security footage, and the tension is palpable. Every click of the mouse feels heavy with consequence.
It's like watching a high stakes chess match unfold.
Yeah.
We're trying to anticipate the next move, but the author is always one step ahead.
And when they finally see Marty enter the governor's room, you think you're about to witness the herder, but instead
we see genuine shock on Marty's face as he discovers the body. That moment completely flips the script. It throws everything we thought we knew into question, and forces us to reevaluate Marty's role in all of this.
And it leads Artemis to make a bold move, confronting Marty in a dark alley.
Oh, wow.
That scene is pure tension, a battle of wits between two characters who are both both incredibly intelligent and dangerous.
And it's a pivotal point in the story. Artemis manages to extract crucial information from Marty about Cameron's wife and the events surrounding her death. It's like watching those puzzle pieces start to fall into place, hinting at a truth that's even more complex than we initially imagined.
I love how the author doesn't shy away from exploring the darker aspects of human nature. She digs into the motivations behind these actions, showing us how fear, desperation, and the desire for power can drive people to do things they never thought possible.
And she does it in a way that feels both realistic and utterly captivating. You can't help but get pulled into this web of intrigue, trying to unravel the truth alongside Artemis.
So at this point in the story, we're left with more questions than answers.
Right.
But one thing is clear: Artemis is not giving up. She's determined to clear Cameron's name and uncover the truth no matter the cost. And that determination leads her to make a daring gamble, one that could have serious consequences.
Oh, a daring gamble. Now you've really got me hooked. I need to know what happens next.
Don't worry, we're going to dive into that in the next part of our deep dive. But trust me, it's a twist you won't see coming. And it changes everything. All right, so remember that cliffhanger?
Oh, yeah.
Artemis holding a gun on Marty in the governor's bedroom.
Right.
Surrounded by police.
Yeah.
It's like she stepped right into a high-stakes poker game, and she's betting everything on this bluff.
It's such a bold move, especially considering, she's completely outnumbered and outgunned. But that's what makes Artemis so fascinating.
Right.
She knows she can't win in a physical confrontation, so she uses her intelligence and her understanding of human psychology to kind of turn the tables.
Yeah.
Creates this chaotic scene to shift the focus away from Cameron and buy them some precious time.
And it works. It's a brilliant example of how she uses strategy and manipulation, those same skills she honed as a chess master, to take control of a seemingly impossible situation.
Exactly. And the real shocker comes with Artemis's deduction about the governor's death.
Oh, yeah.
She pieces together the evidence, the lack of forced entry, the position of the gun, the inconsistencies in the security footage,
right,
and realizes that Matias didn't die by Marty's hand. He committed suicide and framed Marty to take the fall.
It's a mind-blowing revelation, one that completely reframes the entire case, and it highlights Artemis's brilliance as a detective.
Absolutely.
She doesn't just see the surface details; she digs deeper, connecting those seemingly insignificant dots to reveal a much larger, more complex picture.
It's like watching a master chess player anticipate their opponent's moves.
Right.
Seeing patterns and possibilities that others completely miss.
And what's even more chilling is the motive behind Matias's actions.
Oh, yeah.
He was terrified of what Cameron would do if he ever discovered the truth about his wife's death.
Right.
The governor knew he couldn't escape the consequences, so he orchestrated this elaborate suicide to protect his reputation and ensure his legacy remained intact.
It adds this layer of tragedy to the story. We see how fear and desperation can drive even the most powerful individuals to make drastic, ultimately self-destructive choices.
And Artemis, recognizing the weight of this revelation, uses it to her advantage.
Right.
She leverages this newfound knowledge to strike a deal with the police, essentially blackmailing them into granting her and Cameron immunity.
It's a risky move, threatening to expose the governor's involvement in a toxic waste scandal that could devastate the island's economy.
Yeah.
But it speaks to Artemis's willingness to operate outside the conventional boundaries of law enforcement.
Right.
She understands that sometimes to achieve justice, you have to play the game by your own rules, even if it means bending the system.
Which is what makes her such a captivating character. She's not afraid to get her hands dirty to make tough decisions, especially when she believes those in power are corrupt or abusing their authority.
Yeah.
You're constantly questioning whether her methods are justified.
Right.
which keeps you engaged on a moral level as well as an intellectual one.
Exactly. She embodies that classic, anti-hero archetype, someone
Yeah.
who operates in the shadows, challenging our, our perceptions of right and wrong.
So in the end, Artemis, she succeeds.
Yeah.
Cameron is released. Their names are cleared,
Yeah.
and they leave the island, leaving behind a trail of chaos and unanswered questions.
Yeah.
But even though the case is closed,
Hmm.
there's a lingering sense of unease, a feeling that the trauma of their experience will continue to haunt them.
That final scene on the boat with Artemis and Cameron sailing away is so powerful.
Yeah.
There's a sense of closure, but also this underlying tension, suggesting that the wounds of the past don't always heal so easily.
And that image of Cameron scattering his wife's flower petals in the ocean,
Right.
it's both beautiful and heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It shows that even though justice has been served,
Yeah.
the emotional scars remain.
It reminds us that even in fiction, the consequences of actions can be far-reaching and long-lasting.
So we've explored the twists and turns of the plot, the brilliance of the protagonist,
Yeah.
and the thought-provoking themes that Georgia Wagner weaves into this story.
Right.
But what does it all mean?
Yeah.
Why should you, the listener, care about the opening chapters of this fictional mystery novel?
Because She Crosses Lines offers us, more than just entertainment. It's a story that delves into the complexities of human nature, exploring themes of betrayal, corruption, and the choices we make when faced with impossible situations.
Yeah.
It challenges our assumptions about heroes and villains, reminding us that the line between good and evil can be blurry, and that even those who fight for justice might have to operate in those morally gray areas. And through Artemis Blythe,
Yeah.
we see the power of a sharp mind, strategic thinking, and a willingness to challenge the status quo. She's a force to be reckoned with.
Right.
And her story is both captivating and thought-provoking.
It leaves you with lingering questions.
Right.
Not just about the plot,
Yeah.
but about yourself.
Absolutely.
What would you do in those situations?
Yep.
Where would you draw the line?
Exactly.
If you're looking for a mystery that keeps you on the edge of your seat, a story that challenges your perceptions, and a protagonist who will stay with you long after you finish the book, then I highly recommend checking out She Crosses Lines.
And here's a final thought to leave you with.
Okay.
In a world where the lines between right and wrong are often blurred.
Yeah.
What choices would you make to ensure justice is served?
That's it for this deep dive. We hope we've sparked your curiosity and given you a glimpse into the world of Artemis Blythe.
A good one.
Until next time.